there has been a exclusive clip called the gestation clip for Alien Earth, the new Hulu series based in the Alien universe. I've watched it twice with residual irritation from having watched Alien Romulus, which we did review, right? We reviewed that.
We did? Yeah.
We did, yeah, okay. So, set me off. What did you think about the gestation clip for Alien Earth?
Well, there's been a bunch of clips, and I can't seem to keep up with them, because I went to look for the gestation clip just now before we started recording and found another one where a lady is attacked in a corridor. And it was a bit more... Because up until now, for me, it's been a lot of, like, basically macro photography that pulls out into the Earth, and then an alien goes...
And you saw the stock footage one, right? Like the fake...
Yeah, I saw that one, yeah. So it's been a bit like fan trailers almost, and it's kind of like, fine. I mean, I get it. It's fine. You're just teasing a thing, fine. The thing you're teasing, though, we're all quite well versed in and fed up with, so if you please cut to the fucking point.
Yes.
You know, frankly, sorry, I shouldn't swear because this was in the first...
Well, it's a bit like, you know, if McDonald's did a thing and it was just loads of footage of people picking sesame seeds and then a macro shot of a sesame seed on a brioche bun. And then the next one's people, I don't know, pounding a vat of fucking... horse bellends to make the burger. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, that's going to be a burger. I've had the burger.
Yeah.
I don't need this mysterious. Or it's like,
and
well,
then showing it to Donald Trump.
Yes.
You know, as if it's something new.
Yeah. Yes.
Although that in that case that might work.
That might actually work. Yeah.
But no, it's just kind of the one that. And sorry, you asked me. But I will talk about that clip in a minute. But the one I just actually happened across was the one where is it called "It's Coming" or something, where he's in
the guy
Mother.
in Mother, in the mother room. Let's say,
in the mother not room. Her in it. And I guess that's the anyway. But yeah, no, the gestation clip. I don't care.
Do you know what?
I mean, it's just a CG,
and it's really long.
Yeah, tediously long,
real long, and I just what it was kind of the kind of macro photography stuff, which I assume is CGI, of gross things bubbling and stitching together, like divorced from this, is really cool. It's a very moody, disgusting thing. Good. I don't want 2 minutes of that to see a crate in the style of the popular Alien franchise of films. I am familiar with crates. I'm familiar with the popular Alien franchise of film.
The storage of said crates.
Storage of said crates. Stacking, piling, lining up, tipping over. Alphabetizing. Numerical order. But these ones have a thing in. Like, I think it's written and directed by Noah Hawley, who did like Fargo, which apparently is very, very good. The TV show Fargo.
The series, okay,
yeah. And Legion as well, which people really, really liked. I haven't seen either, but there seems to be a bit of a pedigree. Just to talk about positives, it might be nice to have an Alien series. I like the idea of a time where I'm going on Disney Plus once we go, and the new episode of Alien is out. What an exciting, interesting show. It has Timothy Heffalump in it, who I like. I do like a bit of Timothy Heffalump.
Yes, me too.
And those are the positives. But equally, those of you who watched our Alien Romulus review, I just hate the kind of like, well, I've seen this though. It's just, well, I've seen this though, and the fucking this gestation one. It shows you the dining room from the Nostromo. It shows you Mother from the Nostromo. It shows you the sleep pod from the Nostromo. And now the thing is, as quite a big member of your target demographic, weirdly enough, I have seen Alien more than once. In actual fact,
but this is the perennial problem with these things. It's the same thing with the Indiana Jones. The Indiana Jones thing's slightly different, but it's that thing of, here's the thing you like, nostalgia, but subversion. And it's like, because it's for a new generation, it's like, well, sorry, who are you making this for? You're advertising it at me, but then making it for someone who hates these things. It's very, very odd, and I don't know that that's what they're doing here. I think what's curious by its omission is the Earth part of this, because it's like, well, that's just the Nostromo, and so we're slavishly recreating that. Fine, but then isn't that going to crash in the first episode and then we're on Earth? which is nice and convenient for your budget, but it's,
because I think they've established that the Nostromo as a ship is like a pretty generic one that they make multiples of, right?
Yeah, it's a mining whatever.
So,
thing.
And the fact that they even made Romulus about the alien surviving the Nostromo is like, what? We must assume this is another one of those that looks so identical as to basically be the same thing. And I don't know if it's a bit, sometimes it feels a little bit like, nobody liked, well, this changed now because everyone's contrarian or people are young or whatever. Everyone loves the Star Wars prequels now because that's the good Star Wars that we've all been robbed of.
Didn't they re-release
Revenge of the Sith's anniversary was like last week or something. Like
it did better than
when Disney took over, everyone was going like, and you can look this up, it's still on the fucking internet. We're so glad this has happened. George Lucas is dreadful. We're going to get good Star Wars now. And part of that course correction was J.J. Abrams just making Star Wars again. And the thing that seems to be going on with Alien is kind of like, oh, you didn't like Prometheus, so we're course correcting that. But Romulus had fucking Ridley Scott producing it, so you've got the fucking Punch and Judy Muppet Ian Holm talking about black goo fucking Prometheus shit. And then this had a bit of that Prometheus black gooey stuff. And there's a synopsis, I think it's something I read is like, there's 3 types of alien. It's like, what does that mean? Because it's just a crate. If it's a squiggly thing.
Well, that's, because the gestation thing, that trailer, was it that one, or there was another one anyway, where there was a thing in a crate that didn't look like an alien, but then there was an alien on top of it.
Right.
Like, okay.
Right.
And we did Alien. Thing is, we've done Alien on Earth. We did that in, especially AVP Requiem, AVPR.
The best Alien and Predator film. Yeah.
Which was kind of like the town's overrun with at a certain point it becomes like a zombie film. If you put it on Earth, it's a zombie film.
Well, that was just a rip-off of Return of the Living Dead as well. Like, it's mad. And Return of the Living Dead had the wherewithal to be funny and interesting, which that Alien Requiem did not. So these are pre-pissed on chips.
Triple pissed on chips.
Triple pissed on chips.
But like we said before, like the first one is it's Stalking Corridors. It's a slasher film in the monster movie. Blah blah blah. It's Dan O'Bannon's Star Beast, and then but the only reason why it's sort of half interesting is because they got a kind of auteur to make it, and was he an auteur? I suppose
I think up to a point, and I would say there were. That's the thing that had kind of multiple auteurs as well, because you've got like Walter Hill producing it, and then you've got obviously Inus Pinus, H.R. Giger, and Ridley Scott, and all these people doing something to an interesting degree. Anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah, no, but just that's I think one of the even if you watch all these very long documentaries that came on those discs, the Yonky Donks ago, that's not a thing. Honky Tonk. I don't know.
Why not?
It's they talk a lot about the design of the swords and the penis and all that stuff, and it's all psychosexual and it's all this kind of stuff. But it isn't supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like, that valve on his left cheek is for breathing out farts, but the one on the right. It's like people just pick this shit.
Well, because you have to strip mine it. Yeah, there's nothing else.
Yeah, and you just think like, why don't you try coming up with something? So again, it's kind of like that clip of when she's trying to get into Mother, and the guys won't let her in, and it's kind of like the same old thing, and then the alien obviously attacks her in the corridor. That was a really well done, sort of more modern take on the kind of that thing from Alien. Fine, but I mean, are you making Alien or are you making an Alien on Earth? And then what is that? What does that look like? And you know what it's going to be.
We've never really seen Earth, apart from Alien Resurrection, where they arrive there at the end. We've never seen Earth in this universe before, have we? Well, that's not true. We see them on Earth leaving it. I'm choosing not to count that, but yeah, some small town.
When do you see them leaving Earth?
No, you don't. Sorry, you see Wayland and Michael and David in Wayland's house while Wayland's being mean to him, looking out the window. Because actually, when they have the briefing in that cargo room, they're in space, aren't they?
So you're counting Prometheus?
Yeah.
Because in Prometheus they discover the cave and.
There you go. Yeah. I'm not very well versed in it because it's shit and I don't like it. as bluntly. And the point being, of course, as always, like I am so happy to be wrong about this shit, and I often am, and I will come back and say in 6 months' time, hey, do you know what, that fucking ruled? That was so good. Happily, if it's good. Like I'm not going to double down on being wrong. Happy to be wrong, and I think I've come off the back of like I've had a really long stretch of work. I'm quite annoyed and tired. You've got a young kid. Like I think I think we watched each other watch. You got two. Yeah, we watched each other watching it on because we were on Riverside, both watching it. And I think you were watching the Predator one. I can't remember, but you were just going. Yeah, this like really.
You went at one point. Richard just went.
That was
and you had to like force your head back up to keep
like
watching.
a baby like it's just like the whole I don't know, it's a prequel to Alien apparently, so fine, like
what
apparently.
Oh well, no, that's
so maybe it is Nostromo. It's the original Nostromo crew actually before they were picked, and it's like, oh my god, like it gets by orders of magnitude less interesting when it turns out, well, the Nostromo was actually blah blah blah, if it is that. And it's like, no, because it was interesting because they could be anybody, because they were just poor saps on their space truck, and and the company chose them for their nefarious shit. Like it's not.
Yeah, I mean it is. Again, I suppose they're being. You could either look at it as that they're being choice with what they're releasing, and sort of so they're keeping it mysterious. Mm-hmm. Or they're doing it because there's nothing to say. There's just nothing to say. I remember thinking that. I think I said that in our review for Romulus. I was sort of half enjoying it until the canary in the coal mine bit, and I thought, well, that's a bit on the nose. And then it was when they took off to go to the Romulus, and I just went, hang on. I'm going to watch. We're going into the second act, and I know what's going to happen now.
You've got nothing.
I've just got to sit through this same roller coaster.
And like I said at the time, like they were genuinely very interesting sequences, but then it was just like, well, here's more of the same. It's like, well, like, and then it's, well, I know what's going to happen. Like there's nothing here for me, and now because I'm in my case, in a fucking everyman cinema in Crystal Palace with my cup of tea, this is the next 2 hours of my life. You know.
Yeah.
So the one thing I did from my extensive research, I found something that I think you're going to like, and it certainly cheered me up about this film. Shall I tell you what it is? And I'm not being sarcastic either.
Please do.
It's got Ade Edmondson in it, which I don't care if the thing he's in's rubbish. Ade Edmondson, fantastic.
Okay.
Any relation?
Very
yes,
good.
actually. So it's got Ade.
Yes, sure.
You know, Ade Edmondson's great. Like, not mad about The Last Jedi, but Ade Edmondson's in it. You know, and I'm happy for that.
That's great. That makes me happy. I sort of think, is this another spreadsheet thing of is this making the TX female, or is this you've actually got some reason to do this other than we've never done it? It's like, yeah, you've never made them like fart the Star Spangled Banner.
You haven't given them tits.
You know,
like what?
So
yeah, I totally get that.
I suppose it's going to be that thing of like you're going to get facehuggers released, and they're going to go and jump on a bull or jump on a tiger, and then you're going to get tiger aliens, and like those toys you used to get. You're going to get that.
Or in like whatever video game.
And then the Predator, right. But I bet you at some point it'll be like, and now the Predator's got to come and sort it out, and then we'll just get AVP again.
The facehuggers are on the surviving members of S Club 7, or.
I mean, I guess the thing you can say is it's set in the future at least, so it's set so it won't be like they're going into Walmart.
Yeah,
it'll be
because that was the whole thing of fucking like AVP2 being set in bumfuck, and it's like, oh my god, this feels like a straight to video slasher thing. Like, or like, as you point out, a zombie movie, and it cribs so much from Return of the Living Dead, but which ironically was fucking written and directed by Dan O'Bannon, you know. Anyway,
that film wasn't totally unredeemable. I mean, there were things in it, a nice idea. There were good sequences in it, like the power station and stuff that just gets forgotten. It was totally superfluous, but it was like visually they did some good stuff with it. But it was
really. I mean, it's famously very dark. It's a horribly underlit film. The Wolf Predator is a cool Predator design.
Oh yeah,
that's cool because it mostly looks like the original Predator, but that's a good Predator design. Mm-hmm. That Predator looks cool. But yes,
Yeah, because that was called Aliens versus Predator, wasn't it? Whereas the original one was Alien versus Predator. Yeah, so I know, I hate it so much. This is one of those things where you just go like, I can't get a thing greenlit by you twats, but you'll happily chuck more money at this, and I know they'll go, oh, but it sells, and it's like, but does it? Because I'm sort of like, I think audiences have spoken of them, and they've spoken with Star Wars, they've spoken with Indiana Jones, they've spoken with, arguably, with, I mean, it's hard to say with Predator because obviously we haven't had a theatrical release since The Predator.
That's a good point. Yeah. I forgot about that.
With this one, with Alien, it's kind of like Romulus. Did Romulus do well? I'm not even sure
I
it
don't
did.
know. I'm so numb. Nothing means anything anymore.
Well, it's like, because these were the things that lit up. These were blockbusters, right? They were like literally people queuing around the block to watch these things, and that you just can't say that of stuff. It is. I mean, sorry, Barbara Broccoli, but it is content, and not because it should be viewed as such, but because it is sort of like, this is how people.
Tis the world we live in.
Yeah,
tis the world we live in. Yeah.
I don't know. It's more for the content mill. I think who's to say whether it will be any good or not? It might be, but I've really no interest in this anymore. And I think, and they must know that the cultural mood is against it. I mean, because I know Romulus is sort of considered a big success, and it's like, but really, to me, it's a bit of an Emperor's New Clothes situation.
Yeah, I know, and it's just like, I mean, there's certain things. It's kind of like, no, it was amazing, and I'm like, why? It's just more of the same. It's not. One of the reasons Aliens works so well as a sequel to Alien is because it very successfully changes the formula, but keeps it recognisable.
Yeah,
it's
it makes
the
familiar unfamiliar, and
exactly, and that's not easy to do. You can't just say, "Oh, just go do that again," because you can't, and I wouldn't expect that, because you just happen to have captured a young genius at the beginning of his career and got him to do your thing, and left him to it as well.
For the most part, I think the thing, which is odd, that then they really got all the cooks in the kitchen for the third one, because they
got another new genius on the up and up and fucking destroyed it for him. So, they didn't get in David Fincher's way. You know what I mean?
It's true.
He's gone on to become fucking David Fincher. So that's that. Well, I think it's time to wrap up this particularly funereal episode of our show, one in which we're both quite tired for differing but probably quite similar reasons. I spent 40 minutes of last night trapped in a lift in an event venue with 5 other techs, and the fire brigade had to pull us out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I didn't get home when I was expecting to, and etc. And I had a 3-day block of work. I'm really grumpy. I am. I'm going to work tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one, but I reserve the right to be grumpy about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So if you want to find us on social media, you can find me, but I don't go on it anymore because it stresses me out, because everyone talks about war all the time. But I'm at JacksonJackson83 on Instagram. I might post from a laptop, but I don't do it on my phone because my girlfriend told me to stop because it's making me stressed. Where can you be found on the internet?
I'm generally about, if you want to find me on Instagram, I'm at Duncan Casey Actor. I think it's my handle. Oh, here's my handle. Nice. Here's my spout. Oh. I won't show you that.
Lift him up and pour him out.
It's depressively average. But anyway, I'm on X. I don't do X. I never have done X since before it was when it was Twitter. The Twitter formerly known as, or the X formerly known as Twitter. I don't really do it. But hey, reach out. I've got open DMs on there, so you can always shoot me a message if you want. I may or may not get back to you. But Instagram's probably the one I use more.
Leave a comment on here, of course. A lot of our lovely regulars do. We have a very lovely following of people who we love very much, and they're very friendly and nice, so you can interact with them below.
We do also have a Patreon, which I should plug. There's the link for that is in the comments below. You can join for $1, and if you would like to, we've just released, for those of you who have followed us over the years, we've just released a commentary to the 1977 Spider-Man TV pilot. So if you want to hear us say the same things we said 12 years ago, however long ago it was.
It's a less funny version of the same thing that costs money now.
So yeah, you're really selling it.
Yes, and of course that does mean we therefore have a Patreon. So there you go. So yeah, all right. Thanks very much. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. We love you. We'll be back when more stuff comes out, and we'll try and do some more. Hopefully, some more non-trailer related things. You know, maybe I'll try and squat out a review of Thunderbolts. After I've seen it on Friday night.
Right.
And that's it. Smash cut to credits.